podium up here. So I'm just, I don't feel like it. Congratulations, Lewis School of Excellence, class of 2016. You made it. This is truly an accomplishment. Give yourselves a hand. I would also like to acknowledge the teachers, administrators, and support staff. Being a former high school history teacher, I know the job that can be difficult. With all the drama and budget cuts you guys had to endure this year, you truly have done more with less and deserve a round of applause. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be speaking to you this morning. I ask you guys to allow me just 15 minutes of your undivided attention. I want to share some things with you that will ultimately change your life forever. I know the administration wants me to give you the rah-rah, congrats, off to bigger and better things speech, but that is not going to happen today. I'm going to keep it real with you guys because you're at one of the most critical ages in your life. The decisions that you make during this time will drastically affect your future. How many of you guys like sports? How many basketball fans do we have by show of hands? The one thing that I've always been obsessed with was statistics, especially sports statistics. By show of hands, how many of you guys know how many championships that LeBron James has? How many points did Stephen Curry average during the regular season? How many championships does Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls have? Well, here's a stat that you may not know. Only 15% or 50% of Chicago public school students graduate high school. So I want you to look to your right and look to your left. In 4 years, statistically speaking, only half of you will graduate high school. But hopefully by the end of this speech, you will, however, my hope is that when I'm done with this speech today, this will not be the end, but only the beginning. Some of you guys have 3 or 4 graduations left in you. I want to share a story with you about the seriousness of making the good decisions. As I look back over my life, the most important decision I made was at the age of 14 years old. It was the last few weeks of 8th grade graduation, and my Dean of Students and former basketball coach, Mr. Masterson, asked me to come into his office. As we sat down, he said to me, "Walter, you have all the potential in the world, but your friends are going to be your downfall." I did not understand what he was trying to say to me at that time, but lo and behold, 3 months later, that conversation would come back to me. I grew up on the outskirts of Chicago. I had different friends of all races, but we all lived in the same working class immigrant neighborhood. After graduations, a couple of my friends decided to join gangs, and the summer of my freshman year, I decided to go out for the football team. Some of my friends decided to come out with me, and right then and there, I made the most important decision that I ever made in my life. Between the second and third practices, my friends asked me to quit the team and go back to our neighborhood so we could do things that were probably not good. But I made the most important decision, and I chose to stay as opposed to leave. Fast forward 4 years later, out of that 8th grade table, only 2 of us graduated high school, and I'm the only one that went to college. My friends, where are they now? Some of them got their lives together, some of them went to Army, some of them are no longer here. The reason why I'm where I am today is due to the fact that I made the right decisions. I had all the strikes against me. I was a black male in special education classes, came from a low-income single-parent household, but so what? I made the decision at 14 years old that I wanted a better life for myself. Today, you must refuse to live the life that is given to you and create a better life for yourself. This is your life. You're old enough to make your own decisions. From now on, you cannot blame anyone but yourself if you don't become successful. Know that to get there where you want to be in life, you will have to pay a great price. It will not be easy, but a different result requires doing something different. Make this your motto, and breakthroughs will become possible. If you want to accomplish all your dreams today and become successful, these are 3 things that you must do. The first one, make good decisions. Choose this day if you want to put in the work necessary to become successful. At the age of 14, I chose that I would not be a victim of my circumstances. While my peers were selling drugs or chasing girls or skipping school, I chose to be the best athlete, student, and leader that I can be. What did I have to sacrifice? The first thing, sleep. I can count on my one hand how many parties that I went to in high school. And it wasn't because I wasn't popular. I was the homecoming king. I didn't drink, smoke, or pop Mollies or do flats. I gave up close friends who didn't want what I wanted. I knew that it didn't align with my goals or values, so I made the sacrifice. Most people say they want to be successful, but they kind of want it. They don't want to be successful as much as they want to sleep, party, or chase girls. To be successful, you must be willing at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become. Execution. After my 8th grade football season, I made the decision that I wanted to be the best football player and play at the college level. So I had a plan that I would go to school early. At that time, my school started at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. I would show up at school at 6 a.m., lift weights, run, and finish my homework up before school started. I achieved this plan, and I did this plan every day for 4 years. And I can count on probably less than 10 times that I skipped a day. So before my junior season in football, no one knew who I was. But by the senior year, I was the #1 running back in the state. But what people didn't know is that I woke up at 5:30 every morning since freshman year to lift weights and run. Throughout my high school career, I finished with academic honors, not because I was so smart or that I liked school. It was due to the fact that I knew in order to accomplish my goals, I had to perform in the classroom. In college, only started 4 games, but I got the opportunity that I took full advantage of, which enabled me to go to the NFL. So, talk is admired, but worship or execution is worshipped. It is time to stop talking and be like Nike and just do it. Be rare. Everyone talks a good game, but not many people back it up. I've always been that person who backed up their talk. The third thing you need is faith. Life isn't sweet. We live in hard times. We are at a very tough age in life, and we live in a violent city. But life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. We all have haters, and sometimes they are the people closest to us. I have been told that I wouldn't be successful by teachers, coaches, families, and society. There have been many rough times. There have been days that I've been without, whether it was food, whether it was heat, whether it was electricity. I even had to live with a different family because my mother could no longer support me. It got so bad one night that I contemplated taking my own life to escape the pain. I have cried myself to sleep plenty of nights, but I didn't cry to give up. I cried to keep going. Those nights I had to draw on my faith to get me through. You have to have faith. Whether it's faith in God, your dreams, or your family, you have to draw from something that is bigger than your current situation. If you don't get anything else today, I say to you, remember the decisions you make today will affect who you will become in the future. It is not by luck that I stand before you today, having accomplished my goals of playing in the NFL, getting paid to speak and motivate young people across the country, and leaving my teaching job to pursue my entrepreneurial ventures. I have traveled across the world and met a lot of great and influential people. How did a black kid from Chicago defy the statistics and get to where he is today? I made good decisions. I executed my plan by putting in the work, and I had faith that better days were ahead of me. This is the formula that not only worked for me, but also a couple of students that I had the pleasure to coach and mentor right here in the Austin community. Kids like Keandre, who lives 5 blocks away from this school. He experienced the death of his brother, and his mother is currently in jail. He was bounced around in the foster care system and was on the verge of flunking out of Proviso East High School. I had the pleasure of coaching and discipling Keandre at Chicago Hope Academy on the west side and bringing him to Jesus Christ. Now, Keandre has just graduated and will attend Oliver Nazarene University on a scholarship to play football. Another example is Shaman McCoy, who lives not too far from here on Chicago Avenue and Cicero. Shaman flunked 8th grade and had to repeat it. I had the pleasure of coaching and mentoring Shaman at Hope Academy. Shaman ended his high school career with a 3.8 GPA, and I had the pleasure after the football season to take Shaman to Stanford University, not because of his football skills, but because of his grades and his character. Shaman will be attending Lawrence University in Wisconsin on an academic scholarship where he will also play football. You're in the same position I was over a decade ago. You're experiencing some of the same problems Keandre and Shaman faced 4 years ago. Take advantage of your opportunities. Make good decisions. The time you have is precious. You only have a limited window of time to make your dreams a reality. So I say to you today, enjoy today because you deserve it. But tomorrow, it's time to grind. Your future depends on it. I leave you with something my mom used to tell me. You are destined for greatness. The only person who can stop you is you. Thank you.